All right, so as I go through this review, I'm not going to do every single question. So if there's like 4 parts to a question, I'm only going to maybe do 1 or 2, just to remind you how to do it, okay? So just as review. So when we're talking about, in this case, converting decimals to percentage, remember, one of the things that we can do is we just simply take this and multiply it by 100 in order to get our percentage. But remember, the simple solution is we can simply just take our decimal and move it 2 spots to the right. Okay, so then this is going to end up being 65%. And it works quite easily when we're doing it, when we're converting decimals to percent, you move it to the right. And when you're going back from percent to decimal, you move it to the left. Okay, so if we go 2 spots to the right, all right, we're going to end up with 0.69%. But just as you can recall, this is simply going to be take this 0.65 multiplied by 100, and that is going to give you your answer, which would be 65%. Okay. All right, in this question, Connor got 21 out of 24 and Rose got 83.3%. So who got the highest score on the test? All we're going to do is we're just going to change this into a percent, and we know that if we just simply take the top number and divide it by the bottom number, that's going to give us our decimal, and then we can just convert that decimal into a percentage. Okay, so we just take 21 and we divide it by 24. That is going to give us, check my calculator here, make sure I have it right, 21 divided by 24 equals 0.875, 0.875. And what we know about decimals, if we move it 2 spots to the right, it's going to give us our percentage. So that means it's going to be 87.5%. And therefore, if his score is 87.5%, it's greater than 83.3%. Therefore, Connor got the highest score. Okay, so as we knew in the previous example, when we're converting decimal to a percent, we're multiplying by 100. When we're going from percent to a decimal, you're doing the opposite. So essentially, you are dividing by 100. Okay, and if we remember correctly, we can simply just take these and move them actually the opposite direction, which would be to the left. So if we imagine this for a second, this is really 38.0, 38.0. So if we're going to take that, we're going to move that decimal 2 points to the left. Therefore, it's going to be 0.38. It's going to be our decimal. In this case here, we've only got 1 0, so we've got to make sure that we're moving it 2 spots left, so we're going to have to put a 0 in for it. So if it's going to be like this, it's going to be looking like 0.79. If we move it 2 spots to the left, that's going to be our decimal, which is going to be 0.0079. Okay, now that represented as a fraction is going to be, that's going to be 79 over 10,000. Okay, so tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths columns. So therefore, whatever the last column is what we're putting it over. Okay. Okay, question 5. The Bombers' attendance average is 26,988. In the playoffs, they saw their attendance increase by 166%. So the question is what was the attendance? So we know that 166 is the same as saying 1.6, or sorry, 1.66. Okay. So that is the attendance, and then all we have to do is take 1.66 and multiply it by the average here, which is 26,988, and that is going to equal 0.8 44,800. Approximately 44,800. There's a decimal in there, but the reality of it is that you can't have a fraction of a person. So that would have been their paid attendance for this particular question. Okay, make sure that you check out the next section. This is just covering sections, questions 1 through 5. The next session will cover the next group of questions.